This is the Gerry Callahan Show.
And I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard. I'm not going to let Joe Biden piss me off today. I'm not going to let him ruin this day. He's trying. I'm trying. But it is a glorious day in America. We are 57 minutes away from Donald Trump raising his right hand, placing his left hand on the Bible, and being sworn in for his second term. The 47th president is about to take office and about to shake it up, man. He is about to get busy with executive orders right off the bat. This is going to be great. They're gathering in the Capitol as we speak. All the luminaries are entering. Barack Obama just walked in by himself, solo. Michelle Obama, once again, is a no-show. And it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be exactly what we were hoping for. Donald Trump is not messing around this time. Donald Trump is about to take action. I mean, real action, serious action. Unfortunately, that will not include prosecuting Anthony Fauci or Liz Cheney or Mark Milley. Yes, the scoundrel in chief, the most corrupt, unethical, immoral man ever to darken the White House, Joe Biden, gave last-minute pardons to some of the worst people in the world, people who should face justice. And God knows they needed this pardon. Yes, they did. They will say, "Oh, I didn't need it." Well, turn it down. Reject it, Dr. Fauci. Just say, "No, thank you." Roll the dice. But that won't happen because we know Fauci is a criminal, is a gangster, has done more damage to this country than any public official in American history. We know he's ruined lives. We know he made money. We know he was the greatest big pharma salesman of all time. And now he's free to live out his life, 84 years old. And this scoundrel needed a presidential pardon to avoid his fate, to avoid going where he really does belong, in a prison cell. But we'll see how that plays out, because let's be honest, Fauci, Milley, Cheney, Kinzinger, Raskin, Schiff, all of them, they now must testify. They cannot plead the fifth. So hopefully they will be at least made really uncomfortable in the new administration. And Joe Biden goes out the way he came in, goes out the way he spent every single day for the last 4 years, just reaching a new low every day. We are going to look back in just shame that this piece of excrement ever served a day in the White House. He is without a doubt the worst president we have ever seen, the worst president in modern history, probably in all of history. But it's not just incompetence. It's not just dementia. It is the man is to his core is just unethical, immoral, soulless. He doesn't have a sense of decency. He doesn't have a sense of humanity. He's not just the worst president we've ever seen. He's the worst person ever to serve as president. The worst father, grandfather. Just a despicable human being. And he was asked the other day if he was going to pardon himself. And he gave his usual nasty sneer and said, "Why would I do that? I haven't done anything wrong." Oh, yes, you have. I'm not sure he'll live long enough to face justice. But if there is any justice in the country, we're going to find out just what a piece of garbage we had serving as commander-in-chief for the last 4 years. And again, he's going out the way he's spent every single day, just flouting the law, just pissing on the norms and the traditions. I don't think I've ever heard of a preemptive pardon by a president in his final day. If you need a pardon, that's usually because you did something wrong. That's why Hunter Biden got a pardon. That's why 37 murderers had their death sentences commuted by this scoundrel. That's why he's pardoned thousands of criminals. People who committed murder were pardoned or sentences were commuted by this man. And now Fauci and Milley and Cheney and Kinzinger, they get a pardon because they did something wrong, because they are criminals. He knows it. They know it. You don't pardon innocent men. Maybe it's better this way. Maybe now we can all agree that they are what we thought they were, that they are criminals, that Anthony Fauci committed so many crimes. Forget just lying under oath. Anthony Fauci is the man who convinced 2 presidents to lock down the country, to close schools. He's the man who lied about therapeutics and ivermectin just to force people to get vaccinated. He's the man behind the effort to fire people, cops and firemen, and kick people out of the military because they wouldn't take the experimental shot. That is all on Fauci. And we know, we've seen it. Hell, he's such a egomaniac that he went on TV on his daily basis and lied. We know he lied over and over and over and over again. And we know why. He lied because he was invested in one thing, making people get the vaccine, making money for Big Pharma. That's the man. And it is just such, we're not going to see real justice perhaps, but the poetic justice is just beautiful. Robert Kennedy Jr., the man who wrote the book on Fauci, the man who exposed Fauci more than anyone else, he's in the room. Hopefully he will be our new Health and Human Services. He is the nominee. Hopefully he'll be the secretary. And he, if anyone, will continue to expose Fauci and all the rest of them. Let's be honest. Trump today can pardon every J6er. He can pardon anybody, everybody, anyone he wants. And the media will just have to sit there and suck on it because this is the new precedent. Pardon anybody, anyone and everybody. This man has pardoned thousands of criminals, Joe Biden. Donald Trump could pardon all the January 6ers today, and it would be all fair. That is what he must do. Here we're watching when Donald Trump and Melania, who looks spectacular, meet Joe Biden and Jill for the ride down to the Capitol for the swearing in, which will all be indoors, which is, to me, really disappointing that they couldn't do this outdoors because of the cold. We'll get to that. I can't tell you how disappointing.
Melania looks like an assassin.
She looks great. And, she'll appear on no magazine covers. She'll win no awards, but she is perhaps, inarguably, our most beautiful first lady we've ever seen. And man, does she look good. And man, does Jill Biden look defeated, demoralized. She has to go off to the beach, off to wherever, off there sponging off some billionaire's vacation home somewhere with Joe Biden. And now she has a job to do for the rest of his life, is to be a caretaker, to be a visiting angel for this cadaver we have in the White House for 48 more minutes. Well, it has been a beautiful weekend. It was a great weekend in this country, in DC, in the Capital One Arena, but it's going to get better. Here's what's going to happen today. Beginning in 46 minutes, we're going to see a blizzard of executive orders. Donald Trump promised this, and he is going to deliver. I'll say it again. There is nothing holding Trump back this time. Nothing. He's not running again. He doesn't have to worry about re-election. He doesn't have to worry about indictments. He doesn't have to worry about investigations by the DOJ or the FBI. He doesn't have to give a damn what the media says about him anymore. Those days are over. He doesn't have to worry, I don't think, about turncoats in his cabinet or in the military like Milley and others who dedicated their life to sabotaging him. Those days are over. He's going to be surrounded by good, loyal people. Speaking of which, Mike Pence enters the rotunda by himself. I'm surprised. You're not welcome there, Mike Pence, but whatever. Trump handles this stuff beautifully. This is what he does. He handles pomp and circumstance and ceremonies and one-on-one interactions. And this is his strength, and he will have a great day greeting and dealing with all these people, some of whom hate his guts, like Obama and Biden and Pence, some of whom are just as excited as we are about today and the next 4 years. But here's what you can expect from Trump. Everything he promised and more. Today, he's promising to sign 200 executive orders in Capital One Arena, where he will appear after he's sworn in. They have set up a desk. It looks like, a desk and a chair. That's all on stage, a desk and a chair. And from that desk, he will sign hundreds of executive orders. The primary goal is to unravel everything that Joe Biden did for the last 4 years to destroy, to destabilize, to dismantle this country and the rule of law. He will, first and foremost, close the border. Here is a report from Bill Maloogian just about an hour or two ago. Executive order number 1 on Donald Trump's list: Trump will direct DHS and DOD to finish construction of the wall and deploy personnel to take operational control of the border. He will order the immediate termination of Biden's controversial mass humanitarian parole policies and programs, including the CBP One Cell Phone app. There will be no more applying for asylum on the app. There'll be no more late night flights from wherever, from Haiti, from Venezuela, Nicaragua, into the U.S. with planes full of illegal aliens. Trump executive order number 2. Trump will order U.S. troops to be deployed to the border under U.S. Northern Command and will order the U.S. military to prioritize U.S. borders and territorial integrity in strategic planning for its operation. So today, U.S. troops will head to the border. Executive order number 3, Trump will designate international cartels and crime organizations like Tren de Aragua and MS-13 as foreign terrorist organizations. The order will declare these groups a national security threat and will invoke international emergency economic powers to stop their operations. These are just 3 of 11 border-related executive orders he will sign today. Those are just 3. He's promising 200. In his speech yesterday, he said he was advised, somebody told him, why don't you just slow down? We'll do it over weeks. We'll do a few every day for a few weeks. And he said, no deal. That's not how it's going to work. And I love this because we don't even know the damage Joe Biden has done. Joe Biden, as we know, he's not well. He's addled. He has dementia, and the people around him are all radical lefties. There was an amazing moment over the weekend when Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, said he met with Biden and told him that he signed an executive order related to the border, and Joe Biden didn't know it. He said, no, I didn't do that. Yes, he did. He didn't. Somebody said, here, sign right here. These are the people who've been running the country. People in the White House, radical left-wingers who will today leave finally and head back to the faculty lounge at Columbia or Harvard. They've been doing everything in their power to destroy our country, and they're done. They're out. They're gone. That is a wonderful thing. Do we have Trump yesterday explaining how the executive orders are going to work?
We sure do.
All right, let's hear it.
You're going to see something tomorrow. You're going to see executive orders that are going to make you extremely happy. Lots of them. Lots of them. We have to set our country on the proper course. By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home.
That it is hard to believe when you think about it. We just had a president who's on his day one, 4 years ago today, signed executive orders opening the border, revoking Trump's border policies with the express goal of allowing millions, perhaps 15 million, 10 to 15 million illegal aliens to invade our country. That's what our president did deliberately, methodically. That's what our president wanted to happen. He was our commander. And it is, I have trouble getting my mind around just how corrupt, just how criminal Joe Biden was when you think about it. We now have a new president, and his goal is to undo all the damage. It's not going to be easy. In fact, it's impossible. You can't bring back Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungaray, Rachel Marin. You can't get rid of every gang member and terrorist that Joe Biden has let into the country. The damage will continue. It's truly remarkable what Donald Trump is tasked with. In many ways, it's really difficult. Obviously, the damage is just so far-reaching. But in this way, Donald Trump has an easy job. He is following the worst president in American history, the most corrupt president, the most diabolical, the most sinister man ever to serve in the White House. It's an upgrade by any definition. It's an improvement by any definition. He's like a coach who's not following Bill Belichick. He's following Rod Rust or Gerard Mayo. He's the guy following the guy, which was him. But he has a job to do, and he's going to do it, and the country is going to applaud. As he said, whether you like it or not, he's going to protect you. Whether you like it or not, he's going to get criminals out of your community. Whether you like it or not, he's going to drill, baby, drill. That's one of many executive orders today. We are going to bring back American energy dominance. And perhaps my favorite executive order today, he's going to revoke the security clearances of the 51 lying intel officials who said the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. Those deep state snakes still have security clearances with which they make a lot of money working in the private sector, going to the Pentagon for meetings or wherever, going to the CIA for meetings as lobbyists and consultants. Those days are over. These snakes will no longer have a security clearance that they can parlay into big money. That's coming today in 42 minutes, no more. John Brennan, Clapper, all you lying weasels, all you frauds, you're done. It's over. And hopefully he can prosecute them, because I don't think they got pardons. Not yet. We will see. It's going to be glorious. Just a few minutes from now, it all begins. Joe Biden has officially moved out of the White House, which is just great, watching the moving trucks. He took his last selfie, posted his last tweet on the POTUS Twitter account announcing pardons for all these criminals. But I think everyone's going to be thrilled today, tomorrow, the next day. Tom Homan is coming. He's coming reportedly starting in Chicago, but making his way to New York and Boston to remove criminals, violent criminals, against the wishes of local public officials, elected Democrats, who are promising to block every effort to remove violent criminals from the community. Talk about putting someone in an awkward situation. You're going to have elected mayors and governors saying, no, you can't come here and arrest and remove rapists, gang members, murderers. Good luck with that. Again, it's a tough job, but in many ways, it's a easy job, because you're doing what America wants. You're doing what the voters want, what the people want, what the taxpayers want. That's what happens today. The will of the people returns. The will of the people will be respected and honored by the president once again. The scoundrel, the criminal that we just watched operate for the last 4 years is done. And that is a wonderful thing. Yes, they are gathering at the Capitol as we speak. Jill and Dougie and Bill Clinton, all with kind of awkward smiles on their faces, standing there watching their worst nightmare come true. Did Dougie get a pardon for, beating up his girlfriend? I don't think so.
No.
We will see.
I'm getting a pardon for killing that dog today too.
No. I don't think that's not against the law in South Dakota, but she's there. All the cabinet nominees are there, some of whom will be confirmed perhaps today. Marco Rubio, maybe today, tomorrow. It's coming. They are not messing around. This is not a smooth transition. This is not a cordial passing of the torch. No, they're gonna reluctantly hand over the keys, and then Donald Trump goes to work, and it is going to be great. All right, I am not there. I tried to go there. I did my best. Damn it. I tried to make it for the inauguration. I was there 8 years ago. It was great. And I was looking forward to going back again, but they just kept screwing me. I will tell you about that, why I am not there in the Capitol with all the rest of the one great Americans. The vibe must be amazing, although painfully cold. I was ready. I was heading there. I had my tickets. I was ready to go. You're not going to believe where I got my inauguration tickets, which turned out to be useless. They didn't catch anything, as I'll explain, but you're not going to believe from whom I got my inauguration tickets. I'll tell you about that. And we got the hostage deal. 3 hostages are home, and that's a good thing. But this is the worst deal in American history. This is the worst deal I've ever seen. This is not a good deal. This should not be celebrated by anybody. I'm not sure why anybody's trying to take credit for this deal, because it's a dreadful, terrible deal. And we'll explain. But first.
Excuse me.
Ring in the new year with new rewards at Golden Nugget Online Casino. Right now, new players can play just $5 and get 250 casino spins on a featured game with promo code Newsmax. That's 250 chances to win on us after you play just $5 or more. Don't wait. The best rewards and the brightest moments are waiting at Golden Nugget Online Casino. Whether you're spinning slots, doubling down on blackjack, playing roulette, or any of our exclusive games you can't find anywhere else, make any moment golden with Golden Nugget Online Casino this year.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please play responsibly. 21 and over. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for Jinshi, Baoshi, Endless Treasures only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at goldennuggetcasino.com/promos. Ends at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on February 23rd, 2025.
Do you think Joe Biden knows what's happening right now? He looks confused, as always. Do you think he understands that his time is up and he no longer has...
He's in extra trouble because his handler's currently out there by herself.
Some poor White House aide is now explaining, Joe, it's over. Joe, you have to go now, Joe. You're not president anymore. I believe this was yesterday, Joe Biden explaining how he's not going anywhere. Don't forget, the last time he said that was July 5th, I believe, when he said, I'm in the race. I'm not going anywhere. And then a couple of days later, he bowed out under pressure from Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Kamala Harris. They forced the old man out of the race. He was happy because they lost anyway. That's one reason. That's one thing that he's happy about, that Kamala lost. We all know that. But here's Joe Biden this weekend explaining how he's not leaving. He's never leaving. Go ahead.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not kidding.
The awkward claps. They're looking at each other going, does he mean that? Does he understand? Does he think he still gets to stay in the White House? It is amazing. Everything they've said about Trump, we see with this guy who over the weekend decreed a constitutional amendment, the Equal Rights Amendment, said, yes, the 28th Amendment's the law of the land. And everyone's looking at each other going, no, it isn't. He's out of his mind. He is president for another 33 minutes, and he's not well. These pardons. All these pardons and commutations should be challenged because the man who issued them is not of sound mind. He does not have his faculties about him. He thinks, I'm not going anywhere. Where you going? I mean, back up to the White House, back up to bed in the White House, going to get a milkshake at the White House snack bar? I'm sorry, Joe. That's not happening. You can't do that. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I also, before we move on from Biden, I can't help it. He's just such a snake. He's just such a liar. He is the most prolific, pathological liar we have ever seen. Can we play Joe Biden talking about pardons? When Donald Trump was in his final days in office, considering issuing some pardons, here's Joe Biden on the pardon power for the president and how, some people just might abuse it. Go ahead.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons. Nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
Oh my God. I don't even know how you defend him anymore. What is Jake Tapper going to say now? What is Rachel Maddow and George Stephanopoulos going to say now? He just issued preemptive pardons to a bunch of criminals and decreed the Equal Rights Amendment, part of the Constitution. How did he do it? By tweet. Yes, he tweeted. And every legal scholar, every fact checker just said, that's not how it works. J.D. Vance was great. He said, while you're at it, could you declare Pete Rose a Hall of Famer? Oh, he's a laughingstock. Our president for another half hour is an international laughingstock, a clown, a court jester. That's who we've had in the White House for 4 years. Just a disgrace. All right, we are getting ready. We are the pregame show. It is 11:30, 31 minutes till we transfer power to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump begins to repair the damage, the unfathomable damage this man has done. I was going to be there. I was on my way. I literally had a flight. I had a hotel. I had an invite to the Newsmax party, which I was excited about. Here's what happened. So I'm wondering, how do I get tickets to the inauguration? You don't have to have them. I didn't have them 4 years ago. They have a barrier set up, just a fence behind all the chairs, and a ticket gets you in so you can sit in a chair. But if you don't have a ticket, you stand outside the fence and watch and look up at the big screen. So I'm saying, I got to be there. So my wife, me, we're making our plans. We're ready to go. She calls. I didn't do it. My wife did it. We get online. It says you got to get your tickets from your congressman. And I go, I don't think Ayanna Pressley's going to accommodate me. So my wife calls the Ayanna Pressley office, and they said, sure, we'll get you some tickets. What's your name? What's your address? Like that. We get tickets to the inauguration from Ayanna Pressley, who I don't think is going. And I don't think she has a lot of people requesting tickets to the Trump inauguration. And I'm like, holy crap. And the guy couldn't have been nicer. He's like, here you go. What's your email? I'll send them to you. It gets you into the fenced in area with all the chairs. 10 minutes later, they say, nope, too cold. We're not going to do the inauguration outdoors. And we're like, what? Too cold? I mean, this literally is less than an hour. They could have done it the way we traditionally do it. They could have done it on the balcony at the Capitol, the way they have done it every year since 1985 when Reagan moved it indoors. This did not have to be moved indoors. It really didn't. I understand that the Secret Service was happy, security. They were happy they don't want them out there, but you're only out there, literally. I mean, you can make it a half an hour. And I was excited. I was going to have a seat. I was going to be right there. Could have been in the front row. like the late Bob Euchre. But they call it off. They move it inside. And we say, you know what? We're still going to go. We'll be there just to be part of all this. We'll watch it on the big screen. An hour later, they announced they're taking down the Jumbotrons. Why? I mean, it's not important. This is still a great day. I'm enjoying it. But they wouldn't let Trump supporters, just any Americans, just sit outside in the cold and watch it on the big screen. No. And again, I guess there are security concerns. Maybe they're not telling us. But that was that. So we're sitting there going, what am I going to do? What are we going to do? We'll go there and do what? Just walk the streets? You know, it's not bad. But then where do we watch this, the inauguration? In our hotel room? Just sit in our hotel and watch it on TV? What's the point? So we said, the hell with it. We'll stay home. I don't like, hanging around for hours in single digit temperatures. So we scrapped the plan, and now we are sitting like everyone else, watching it on TV. I don't think I would have made the cut to get into the Capitol. There's only 600 people in there. And the Capital One Arena, if you want to get in the Capital One Arena, you got to wait like 6 hours in line in the cold. I'm not that hardcore. So I was ready. Check this out, Ironhead. I was ready. My wife made sure we were ready to go.
There you go.
The only place, at least if you're, live in a blue state, the only place you can wear this is in DC this weekend and feel safe. I'm like, we can't be walking around Boston with that. We'll get spat upon. But I got my Make America Great. I haven't had one of these hats before. Kind of like it. I was ready to go, and Donald Trump, the alpha male, said, no, it's too cold. Disappointed, but I'm not going to let it ruin my day. I'm not going to let it ruin this moment. This is a wonderful moment. Is Chucky Schumer, Mike Johnson walking into the big room in the Capitol. It's all going down.
Suspicion, though, this wasn't about the weather.
Yeah, you do, don't you? I mean, initially I said, well, it's cold and, and he's old. There are a lot of Congress is a freaking nursing home. You got a lot of 80, 90-year-old people. You want Bernie Sanders, Chuck Grassley out there in single digit temperatures? I guess not. Trump enters the room for the peaceful transfer of power. But you're right. I mean, they tried to kill him twice. They want to stop him before 12:01. Right now in DC, it's 22 degrees and feels like 7. So I should be glad I'm not standing out there just to catch a glimpse of anybody. But I did miss the Newsmax party. That looked like a good time. It was on Newsmax last night. Looked like a great time. But I don't think I would have gotten near any of the festivities, any of these ceremonies. So here we are, watching along with 24 minutes to go. I'm still holding my breath, by the way. How much damage can Biden do? Is he going to pardon his brother, Jim? Is he going to pardon himself before he walks out the door for the last time and they send in the exterminators to fumigate the White House when we get his ass out of there? Finally, there's Barron Trump, 7 feet tall, standing there with Melania and Melania's dad, standing next to Elon Musk. Musk is so great. I got to say, this, before we get to the hostage deal, I want to do that too, but one of them, I laughed out loud yesterday. Donald Trump made his speech. It was a great speech, by the way, a great moment in Capital One Arena. He didn't hold back. He talked about the nation in decline and all the corruption of the Biden administration. And then he brought up on stage the Village People. Yes, the actual band, the Village People. These guys, I've got to all be in their 70s. And I was a little nervous that maybe at this point, like 50 years since it was a hit, that maybe they might struggle to, reclaim the magic of their big song, their one big hit. They were great. It was fantastic. It was funny. This is part of the charm, part of the appeal of the Trump campaign. They have fun of the Trump presidency. He's having a blast. It's the hardest job in the world. It ages men in dog years. Not Trump. He looks the same as he did 8 years ago, and he's having more fun than ever. One thing, one criticism, he didn't do the YM. He didn't make the letters with his arms like everyone else did. He just did the Trump dance. But here's the Village people at the rally yesterday. Watch.
When you're short on your dough, you can't stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. Come on, everybody. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
No one has had more fun than Donald Trump. He did the Trump dance. The one of the guys, one of the Village people, has the full Indian headdress on, and who cares? You know, who cares if that's not politically correct? We're done with political correctness. We're done with DEI. We're done with gender ideology, the madness of gender ideology. Yes, one of the executive orders, at least one, is going to be on gender, on the whole gender. He's going to declare 2 genders in this country. We are rolling back the madness. This is beautiful. I got to get that Megyn Kelly tweet up for me. She just tweeted, and we have the actual language from this executive order pertaining to gender. Here it is. The executive order established government-wide the biological reality of 2 sexes and clearly defines male and female. All radical gender ideology, guidance, communication, and policies are removed. Agencies will cease pretending that men can be women and women can be men. When enforcing laws that protect against sex discrimination, women means adult human female. Hat tip to Matt Walsh on that one. The executive order directs that government identification like passports and personnel records will reflect biological reality and not self-assessed gender identity. Yes, the madness ends today in 20 minutes, exactly 20 minutes. The gender madness. Rachel Levine, hit the bricks, big fella. You're done. It's over. Look at the smile on J.D. Vance's face. Look at the smile on everyone's face. Sanity returns to this country at long last after 4 years of this madness where the president invited transgender activists to the White House, where they stood on the lawn and flashed their breasts when men flashed their synthetic breasts and women flashed the scars from the surgery to cameras while hobnobbing with the president and the first lady on that ends. That's over. Before we get to this glorious moment, I want to get to the hostages and great weekend in the NFL. Great game last night with the Bills and the Ravens, and perhaps the biggest choke I've ever seen in an NFL game. We'll get to that, but first.
Excuse me.
So how are the New Year's resolutions coming? We all make them, you know. Some of us stick with them. Some of us don't. You know, you want to lose weight, get in shape, get your finances in order. I promise to read more books. I'm trying. Each new year is an opportunity to reflect and plan for the future, like setting career goals, making financial moves, and most importantly, ensuring your family is always taken care of no matter what happens. Make this the year you check the life insurance box off your list and protect your family's future with Policy Genius. Policy Genius makes finding and buying life insurance simple, so you can ensure your loved ones have a financial safety net to cover debts and routine expenses, or even to invest the money to earn interest over time. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options are 100% online and let you avoid unnecessary medical exams. Do you know 40% of people wish they got life insurance at a younger age? Compare quotes from America's top insurers side by side for free with no hidden fees. The licensed support team helps you get what you need fast so you can get on with your life. They answer questions, handle paperwork, and advocate for you throughout the process. Life insurance is a form of financial planning. Secure your family's future tomorrow so you have peace of mind today. Head to policygenius.com to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com. I'm almost hesitant to do this because it's such a great day. I don't want to be a downer, but and I'll start with the good news. The good news is 3 hostages were freed yesterday. 3 women, Britt Emily Damari, Rami Gonen, and Doron Steinbrecher, all freed. It was wonderful. The video was just so heartwarming. They got reunited. One of the women had 2 of her fingers blown off, and she was all smiles. They met their family members, and it was just glorious. But it's hard to believe what they're giving up. And I understand you're dealing with savages. You're dealing with monsters, just pure evil. But they have to give up 30 terrorists for every hostage. 30. They released 30 hardened terrorists. And these are the worst people in the world. These are people convicted of murder, mass murder. One guy murdered 48 people. He went free yesterday. They had a bus full of terrorists, dumped him off in the West Bank. And again, I understand. We're not dealing with human beings. They don't care. They were trying to get their hands on the hostages as they were being transported and hurt them, kill them. The people, the innocent civilians in Gaza. But this will continue. Every hostage is exchanged for 30 terrorists. This means that Hamas will reconstitute, that these people will rejoin Hamas and kill more people. There are lots of people in Israel who lost loved ones at the hands of these monsters. One guy released, Mahmoud Abu Wanda. He was serving 48 life sentences for plotting the multiple terror attacks, including in Jerusalem, when 45 Israelis were killed in a bus bombing. So a guy who killed 48 people went free yesterday. I'm sorry. I know it's the best they could do. It's a hard pill to swallow, but this deal sucks. These guys are going to go on to kill Wasim Abbasi, Mohammed Oda, and Wali Qasim, 3 members of the so-called Silwan Squadron, were jailed in 2002 for a series of bombings that killed 30 Israelis. They were released. It's discouraging, but again, if you want to get and by the way, where is the baby? The baby, Kafir Bibas, taken at 9 months old. He's still there, or he might be dead. Ariel, his brother, was taken at 5 years old. So they're still holding either the corpse or the baby. Didn't get him back yet. They have to give up 30 terrorists to get a baby back. I'm having a little difficulty celebrating this moment, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We won't let it ruin the day. Nor will I let it ruin the day that Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens. I always liked him. Tough player, good, really good tight end. I've never seen a man choke like this in an NFL game. This is a Bill Buckner level choking. This was sad to watch. I'm not sure how you ever recover from this. The Ravens scored to pull the win 2. They go for 2.
Real quick, Jerry, Biden just pardoned his entire family.
He did not. Oh my God.
He did. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Biden pardons his entire family.
James B. Biden, Sarah Jones Biden, Valerie Biden Owens, John T. Owens, Francis W. Biden, all pardoned 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, good luck with that, Jake Tapper. What a scoundrel. What did he pardon himself?
I don't see that yet, no.
So minutes to go. We are 14 minutes away. And he pardons, unbelievable, his entire family. Well, you know what that means? Get them before Congress, get them under oath. They can no longer plead the 5th. If they do plead the 5th, or if they do lie, then you can prosecute them. They cannot lie. James Biden, Sarah, who the hell is that? Valerie Owens, John Owens, Francis Biden. All criminals. You do not pardon innocent people. You do not commute sentences of innocent people. These are guilty. These are criminals. He's admitting it. I'm looking at the bright side. This is him admitting His family is a bunch of criminals, just like him. Unbelievable. We are never going to see a man like this in the White House again. Obviously, it was under unusual circumstances that he was installed as president 4 years ago, and now he completes 4 years of utter lawlessness by pardoning his entire no-good, rotten family. Did he give Navy a pardon? His granddaughter, his youngest granddaughter, who
She'll get arrested for stolen artwork.
no kidding. So now Hunter and the whole worthless bunch of these scoundrels go free. They cannot prosecute him. There he is, sitting there waiting to hand over the reins to Donald Trump. What a snake. What a piece of, jeez, never ends. All right, before we focus in on this glorious moment, I have to say, oh my God, this was painful to watch. There he is. There's Mark Andrews. That is the easiest catch of his career, just floating right into his hands, hit between the 8 and the 9, and he cannot bring it in. Right there. Now, this would have tied the game. They still might have lost. Maybe they would have lost in overtime, but you don't recover from that. Mark, I don't know how you ever recovered like Buckner. You just never lived that down. What a just sad moment. Lamar Jackson brings them back, has them in position, has them wide open, puts it in his hands. Look at that. That hurts. So Josh Allen goes to the AFC title game against Patrick Mahomes. We're all Bills fans now. We all are rooting for the Bills. I would love to see them make a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, by the way, is going to win another MVP. His stats are better than Josh Allen's. I love watching Josh Allen. He's a great player, but it's hard to make the case for him and against, even though the announcers all say it. Give him co-MVPs. Lamar Jackson's the MVP for the third time. A 3-time MVP who's never played in a Super Bowl. That is amazing. But let's hope the Bills go into Kansas City, because the Chiefs are a fraud team. They squeak by every week. They weren't even a better team against Houston. I mean, it was close, and they pulled it out at home, but in front of Taylor Swift and Caitlin Clark. But let's hope that the Bills can go in there and knock them off and go to the Super Bowl against the Commanders. Man, Jaden Daniels is the biggest star of the postseason right now. A rookie quarterback. He's just dominant. He's amazing. I can't wait to see him go into Philly. I'll be rooting hard for a Commanders-Bills Super Bowl. And condolences to Mark Andrews. I'm not sure how he ever lives that down. We'll see. The Chiefs do get all the calls, though, man. They're going to get all the calls. It's going to be really annoying, but the Bills are a better team. Chiefs just aren't that good. I'm sorry. Neither is Philly, by the way. Commanders are on a roll. I think they can go in. I'm picking them. I'm picking both road teams. I'm picking both underdogs. But anyone else?
I'm on the same page as you.
Are you? Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to pick against my heart. I want to root for the Bills and the Commanders. That'd be a fun Super Bowl. Jaden Daniels is just so fun to watch. He's just so poised. He's so clutch. He's so composed. He sits in the pocket doesn't get happy feet. He's a great runner, but he knows how to play quarterback already. He's a rookie and he is a star. He's the biggest star this postseason. And hopefully he ends up advancing to the Super Bowl. That will be a fun Super Bowl. The Redskins against the Bills. But all right, any more pardons as we sit here 9 minutes away from the transfer of power?
No, nothing new as of now.
Nothing new as of now. These executive orders, this scene at the Capital One Arena is going to be amazing. First of all, he's going to be president. It's over in 8 minutes. He's president. So he takes the oath, he gets sworn in, all the pomp and circumstance, and then they move it down the street to the Capital One Arena, where he just starts signing things. Each one is going to be more, going to be better than the last. Every executive order, no more open border, no mass deportations begin today, no more gender madness. All these 51 intel officials get exposed for the criminals that they are. Yep, they're saying a prayer now. Democrats are actually standing up for it. Joe Biden's going to pretend that he's Catholic one last time. Here he is, the biggest pro-abortion president we've ever had, pretending to pray. Here's where the lightning bolt should hit. Joe Biden bowing his head with Jill Biden pretending to pray. God, what a fraud! I gotta get over it. He's done. I gotta just rejoice that this absolute reprobate is all done. We will never see the likes of him again. We will never see a more corrupt, a more pathological, prolific liar. That to me is what he's going to be remembered for most of all. Just the ease with which he's lied about everything, including not issuing preemptive pardons to his family and to his supporters. That's the bottom line, you know. Anthony Fauci is a criminal, but he helped get Joe Biden elected. Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, they're criminals. We know that. Liz Cheney tampered with witnesses, sent encrypted message to witnesses. That would have been a pretty solid case against her, but she helped Joe Biden get elected. That's Mark Milley is a traitor. He committed treason. He admitted it under oath that he reached out to his Chinese counterpart behind the back of the president. He goes free because he helped get Joe Biden elected. He's returning favors to people, to criminals who helped defeat Donald Trump. That's all that matters. Everyone knows the damage Anthony Fauci did to this country. Everyone knows he lied over and over again under oath. He funded the research that created the virus that killed more than 1 million Americans. And he's off the hook because he helped get Joe Biden elected. He did as much as anyone to help defeat Trump and elect Joe Biden. So Joe Biden returns the favor and pardons perhaps the biggest mass murderer we've ever seen. People died because he told you, don't take therapeutics. He shut down schools. He shut down the economy. He destroyed small businesses. And he walks free with the biggest, fattest pension a public employee has ever had. I hope the public all turns on him. At least we have that going for us. Everyone knows what a scoundrel. Now we got Franklin Graham saying a prayer, and Joe Biden gets to pretend to be a good Christian man for a couple more minutes. We are 5 minutes away from the transfer of power. He just pardoned his family during the ceremony. If you needed more proof that he's not in control, during the ceremony, his people behind the scenes issued a pardon to his family so they can all walk away with the millions that they've stolen, that they got for selling out the country. Oh God, what a contemptible character he is. He's still bowing his head. Is he going to check his watch? That to me is what he's going to remember for more than anything. Just a cold, callous, uncaring, indecent man. That's what he is. All right, enough about him. I have to stop about him. I have to move on. Trump will be president in 4 minutes. After they say a prayer, they hand it off. They swear him in, and this all changes. It's all over. Thank you, God. All right, we will leave it there. Let's all turn our attention to this magical moment, this wonderful moment, and let's all say goodbye to the biggest scoundrel who's ever darkened the Oval Office, Joseph Robinette Biden. Didn't pardon himself yet, though, did he?
Not yet, but
you got 4 minutes. You got 3 minutes, Joe.
He's got 4
minutes. Wouldn't that be great if the first thing Trump does is prosecute Joe Biden? He should. That would be just and fair. But I'm going to go watch the swearing in, and then I'm going to go watch the meltdown on the mainstream media, their worst nightmare. Donald Trump 2.0. This is going to be wonderful. But, all right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Gerry Callahan. This is the Callahan Show. Donald Trump is back, and we'll be here again tomorrow. We'll cover it all.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.